This yogurt strain contains a bacteria that 96% of the population is missing in their gut. As you're on your healing journey, this is one that you absolutely positively want in your diet. Today, I'm finally going to show you how I make my Reuteri yogurt. Now, I recorded my whole journey of making Reuteri yogurt, and I was going to just scratch all of my video footage and just release a here's how you make it. But I felt like it was really important for me to show you all the mistakes that I made along the way, because I feel like I wish I had that help, like mistakes not to make when you're making this yogurt. So I'm gonna just go ahead and release this whole video that's gonna show you mistakes not to make and then how to be successful with your Reuteri yogurt culture. So without further ado, let me show you how to do it. And cheers. I don't know why, but I was just craving milk in the middle of the day. I usually drink my raw milk at night, but for some reason I was like, I want milk and honey. So I'm sipping on milk and honey. All right, so let's make your Reuteri yogurt. Let's get to it. Okay, so the first thing that you need is this BioGaia Reuteri strain. Now, I know that Dr. Davis has his own version of Reuteri strain, but this was the original strain that he used when he discovered this yogurt. So you need the BioGaia Reuteri strain, you need inulin powder, and you need half and half. Now, this was mistake number one that I made. I used raw milk and raw cream. Now, you don't want to do that because the good bacteria in the raw milk and in the raw cream will overpower the Reuteri strain. So do not use raw milk and raw cream like I did. So you would still follow these steps. You would use 10 tablets of the BioGaia Reuteri tablets. This is your yogurt strand. This is the strain that you're making, the culture. So this is the culture. So you're going to use 10 tablets. Now you're going to use a mortar and pestle to crush it up. I just used mine in the glass bowl to crush up the tablets, and so that is the first thing. Now, if you were doing your Reuteri yogurt, you would just basically do exactly what I'm doing, but instead of using raw milk, you could skip everything that I went through and just use half and half, and you'll be just fine, and your yogurt will turn out just the way it's supposed to. So do all of what I'm doing right now. Use 10 tablets of the Reuteri tablets, use 2 tablespoons of inulin powder, and skip the raw milk and the raw cream. Now, the next big mistake that I made here is that I used the tiniest bit of raw cream to mix in the powder. I saw this comment in one of the comment sections of Dr. Berg's videos, but this slurry will harden so quickly, and you're gonna see that it gets hard on me. Dr. Davis said to just put a little bit just to make a slurry, but for me, this was disastrous because this slurry got so hard. By the time it was time for me to mix in the rest of the liquids, this slurry had hardened on me, and once it hardens, it's impossible to break it up. And so you're gonna see what a complete mess it is. So when you get to this part of making the yogurt, put just at least a cup to a cup and a half of your half and half in the bowl right away. As you can see, it has gotten so hard on me, and I spent at least half an hour trying to break it up. So this is what you should have done. You should have just filled up the bowl with your half and half right here so that you see how it got just so clunky. I feel so sorry for myself right now, even watching this back, because it just caused me so much heartache. So like I said, instead of pouring just a little bit of liquid, pour in a decent amount of half and half and mix in that slurry. Now, if you live in another country and you don't know what half and half is basically cream and whole milk. None of that low-fat crap. We're using whole milk and cream. But in our grocery stores in America, it's just called half and half. So the next mistake that I made is that I did not warm the milk. Now, if you're feeling intimidated about temperatures, don't be. Just invest in a thermometer, and you want to heat up your half and half to 99 degrees. You can see there, look at that. It's just clumpy, y'all. It was impossible for me to make this back into the crushed up powder that it needed to be. So at this stage, once you have your slurry, heat your half and half to 99 degrees. And that is when you put it in the Instant Pot or yogurt maker so that it maintains that 99 degrees while it is fermenting. Next mistake is I used my original Instant Pot. This thing was only getting to 93 degrees, and that is just not hot enough to create this culture. Dr. Davis says that this culture needs to ferment for at least 36 hours. And if you go over 36 hours, you could run the risk of killing the bacteria. So you don't want to go over the 36 hours. And then also it needs to be fermenting at least 99 degrees to 100 degrees. And you can see here that my fermentation had been going for 15 hours. The water was at 93 degrees and so was the culture. So it was not really, it was starting to be active, which you'll see when I start stirring it, which brings us to our next mistake. Do not stir your culture when it's fermenting, because when you do, you interrupt it and you will also cause yourself to make cottage cheese. So you don't want to stir your yogurt when it is fermenting. You can see it is becoming active, but it's just not hot enough. So it was 93 degrees and it's gotta be at least 99. So it's been 22 hours and the yogurt is not thickening. So I am going to boil some hot water and I'm gonna try something different. We're gonna try to save this first batch. All right, so your girl got so desperate to make this work. So for one, my faucet water was 147 degrees, which is way too hot. So I filled up some water and put it on the stove. I moved my yogurt to the pot. And then as you can see there, I have some boiling water in the back of the stove. And for hours on end, I just kept adding boiling water to keep the temperature at 100 degrees. It was a hot mess. I have been fermenting for 2 years now. And you would think that I know that it's going to overflow. The yogurt is now overflowing. Let me show you guys. But I'm so frustrated. Not only am I checking the temperature every freaking 30 minutes, every hour to make sure that it's at 100 degrees, but it is now overflowing. There it is, about to overflow. Okay, I darkened the color so you could see, but it's about to overflow. It's about to go for flow. So next mistake, when you first make your culture, don't fill your mason jars up to the top because we're talking about a fermentation that's going to grow. So as you can see, at 100 degrees, it did start to ferment. We basically got clabbered milk. I don't even know if the Reuteri cultured, but because it was overflowing, I started playing musical chairs to dump some out, decided to drink one, and then put the other two back into the water. Play. Oh, oops. I'm making such a mess. This ish better make me the healthiest I have ever been in my life because, it smells like fermented milk. Most of you guys were saying that the whey separates in your first batch. Okay, that's fine. It's chunky. Here it comes. Let me show you. I need to show you. Okay, there's the whey, and then there's the big old chunk. Here comes the yogurt part, I guess. Oh, that's really chunky. Oh, all right. Why do I know I don't want to drink this already? Oh, cheers to good health. All right, let's see. It's thick. It's very thick. I don't even know if honey could fix this because it smells like clabbered milk. Whenever I make sourdough bread with this clabbered milk, the bread is so moist and so delicious, but I don't like the smell of it. This is about to be so chunky. I'm not ready. So yes, I did. I clabbered milk with cottage cheese. This was clabbered milk, not Reuteri yogurt. It's just like tangy, like a kefir. It's sour. It's a ferment. I wonder if the the L-Reuteri is like, I'm pretty sure it's active.
I don't know, girl. I don't think it's active. I think you just drinking cottage cheese and clabbered milk.
So you know that fizzy taste? Like that carbonation? It's a little fizzy on my tongue. But I'm gonna count this as my first batch because it's been like 27 hours. I really hope my second batch goes well, because this has been a bust. It's been a bust.
You know, sis, even though it's clabbered milk and cottage cheese, it did something to my skin and to my sleep. So something was working.
It's actually not too bad. It's not like, oh, I need to have that, but it's also not bad. I could actually see myself having an acquired taste to this. I'm not hopeful that my first batch is going to come out smooth the way it's supposed to. I'm not hopeful on that.
No shit, Sherlock.
But I'm hopeful for the second batch. I'm going to try this 2 more times. I'm going to do it 1 more time with raw milk. And I'm also going to do it 1 more time with store-bought organic half and half. And I might do it 3 more times because I want to do it with this culture, but I also want to try it with a new culture, because this has just been all kinds of wonky. Maybe my husband will get me an Instant Pot with an actual temperature setting. My Instant Pot is like OG. I mean, she still works, but she's real OG. And this is just making me have to do so much work, because I don't know how else to keep this. I mean, I could put this in my oven, but my oven only goes to 170, which is too hot. So I don't know how I'm gonna manage these for the next hours to make sure we're at that sweet 100 degrees. Cheers. Cheers to good health.
So I continued that shenanigan for the next several hours, and this is the result the next morning. It's basically cottage cheese in a way. So yeah, I called it Reuteri yogurt, but I think it was just cultured cottage cheese in whey. I drank down the whey, which I feel really helped me, and I ate this air quote Reuteri yogurt, which is pretty much cottage cheese. So for those of you who are new to fermentation, because I know I have some friends and family members who watch my channel, whenever you're buying whey in a protein powder, this is what real whey looks like.
For Reuteri, I went to Williams-Sonoma today. I got that Instant Pot 8-quart. Oh! Anyway, let's try this for the Reuteri yogurt. Let's see if this works, because now we can control the temperature. So let's see how it works.
All right, so I can't even lie. Your girl got into a little trouble with the hubby for going to Williams-Sonoma. But look, we just got to tell him we do it for health and wellness, right? Like, just tell him, babe, it's for the health. Okay, but anyway, we're repeating the same process today, okay? So we're going to use 10 tablets of the BioGaia Reuteri strain. We're using 2 tablespoons of the inulin powder, but this time I got half and half that is pasteurized from our local grocery store. Now, don't worry if you don't have this brand at your local market. Just get organic half and half. And as you can see, we're course correcting now. I poured enough liquid so that the mixture would mix together very nicely and thoroughly. The next mistake I made is that I did not heat up the half and half to 99 degrees before I poured it into the mason jars. So be sure to heat up your half and half to 99 degrees and then mix it with the inulin powder and the BioGaia Reuteri tabs. Now I'm also adding in some whole milk, which is fine. This is overcomplicating it. Half and half is perfectly fine, and that's all you need. I also should have not split the dose between these 2 mason jars. I think I was just afraid that it was going to grow, and that's why I split it up, but it didn't grow, so you'll see that. But before we get to that, This is the Reuteri yogurt, the cottage cheese, should we say, from the raw milk. So I'm just adding in a little bit of whey with that raw milk culture, trying to kind of take the cottage cheese and mix it up really well. And then I am just adding half and half to this culture to try to make more yogurt. I don't really believe that the Reuteri survived in that cottage cheese mixture with the raw milk. I think that the bacteria from the raw milk overtook it. This is just another strain of yogurt. I don't believe that it is Reuteri. So I wanted to just put that in there and see how this did, but just ignore that. So the next mistake that I made with this next batch of Reuteri yogurt is I added water to this Instant Pot. You do not need to add water. You can simply just set the mason jars in the Instant Pot. This Instant Pot is great because you can set it to 36 hours and you can adjust the temperature. I put it to 99 degrees, but the water was way too hot, which you will see.
It is 1:37 the next day, and let's go ahead and check on our yogurt. It says it has 13 hours and 36 minutes left. Let's look. Condensation on top. So this is our, well, let's check the temperature of the water first.
So you can see the water is 104 degrees. Don't put water in the Instant Pot.
So this is the one with the culture that we had already made. Oh, it's thick. It says the yogurt is 104. Oh, it's already separated. Okay, that's looking like yogurt already. 105. Okay. It is separating. There's the whey, which everyone says it would separate. Oh, wow. All right, so this is our culture from the original with the raw milk. It's still separated with the whey, and it doesn't look like it's super smooth, but let's put the spoon in and see if it is smooth.
Why am I acting special? We already know it's not smooth, Sierra. Like, get a grip. It's not smooth. It's cottage cheese. Stop. All right, so it even tastes sour because the temperature was also too high.
This one is sour, but not bad. It's sour though. These are the cultures from the store-bought half and half. So these don't look super smooth to me. Let's see. You can see it doesn't look very smooth, but we'll try it. This one looks a little smooth. I probably should have just put it all in one mason jar, but I didn't know if it was going to rise like the last time. So this one looks better than that one. So maybe the probiotic did not distribute evenly. So let's try these. I have terrible lighting in my kitchen. Way more yogurty for sure.
So just to be clear, this is what your first batch of Reuteri yogurt is going to look like. It will separate. You are going to have some whey. It's not going to be completely 100% smooth, but on the second batch, when you use this culture, your yogurt is going to turn out to perfection.
It's not really. I don't think I distributed it evenly or something, because they should taste the exact same. We'll mix it together and we'll start again.
All right, so this is the Reuteri yogurt, the new one. This is not the raw milk one. This is the new one that we just did. I mixed them together from the 2 mason jars, put them in a bowl, and this is what your Reuteri yogurt will look like the first time. You will have some separation, but after the first separation, it will not separate anymore. And then this is my raw milk culture. I just poured it through the nut bag. It was kind of cottage cheese again, and I drank the whey. So I did not mix those two cultures again.
Cheers. At least we have some whey this morning, full of probiotics from the yogurt that we just strained. Yogurt slash cottage cheese. This is so frustrating to me. I'm like, oh my gosh, are we gonna get it? So I'm not gonna use raw milk. So today is Saturday, so I will go pick up my raw milk. But I'm gonna go to the store and I'm gonna buy another thing of half and half, and I'm gonna use the culture that we already made. I'm gonna use the yogurt that we already made because everyone says that once you make it the second time, it should be smooth. We're gonna use the culture that we already made. We're not gonna use any new tablets. So anyway, cheers. Happy day. Happy Saturday, whatever day I get this posted, but today's Saturday. And let's drink some whey full of probiotics, which I do think that the Reuteri is working. How many days has it been that we've been working on this? In the edit, I'll be able to see, but we've been working on this for several days. So every day I've been eating the yogurt, drinking the whey, and sleep has been good. Last night I slept, I slept about 6 hours last night. I have had nights of 7 hours. For me, the goal is 8 or 9 hours, which I would love. For me, I always typically get 6 hours. I would say my skin is looking really good. I do feel like this kills hunger, especially when I eat the yogurt. I really do think it kills hunger. Cheers. It's like carbonated a little bit. It has like a nice carbonation to it. It's really good. I could actually see myself adding like some lemon to this, or like, I don't know why I keep thinking like raspberry, but I feel like raspberry lemon would be really good with this because it's pretty carbonated. It tastes kind of like a treat, but I like it. It's gonna be a great day. I also do feel feelings of like excitement a couple of days that I had the Reuteri, so I don't know, we'll see.
So I went to the store, I got the exact same half and half as before, the pasteurized half and half. And if you're new to cultures, you always want to save a little bit of your last batch of yogurt, and that is how you make new yogurt. So I just mixed in my culture into the half and half. I'm not sure why I didn't fill up the other mason jar. Not sure. Maybe I ran out of half and half. But this is how you make yogurt. So I just mixed in a little bit of that culture in each mason jar. You could do about a tablespoon of each culture. I set it to 36 hours, and now we wait.
Okay, we are down to the wire. 5 hours left. It is 4 p.m. We have 5 hours left, so it'll be done at what? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. At 9 p.m. Don't judge my math, okay? Don't judge my math. All right, it is like, you guys, I'm really hopeful. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be yogurt this time. I'm pretty sure I nailed it this time. It's not moving. It's like stiff. I'm gonna let it go that last little bit of time. Could take this one out because it's so much less. Should I take this one out and put it in the fridge? We'll just let it go till 9. But I think we nailed it. I think we nailed it this time. I think. We'll see. T-minus 5 hours. It is 6:21 a.m. and I'm getting ready to make some breakfast. But before I start making breakfast, I want to have a little bit of Reuteri yogurt on an empty stomach while I make breakfast. So I'm gonna have a couple of scoops of that. This is the first batch that looked like it did what it was supposed to do. So I'm gonna have some of that right now. All right, let's do this. It looks like it's smooth. Let's see. Oh, golly. Wow. It's actually smooth. Oh my God, I can't believe it's smooth this time. Tastes like yogurt.
All right, friends. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me to make this Reuteri yogurt. You know, I was a little skeptical about posting my mistakes, but for me, I actually learn from people's mistakes all the time. I love to see the mistakes because it shows me what not to do, and you know, I just think sometimes we should show more of our mistakes. So anyhow, I hope that that was helpful for you guys. But look at this yogurt. I finally got it right. So let this just be an encouragement to you in your fermentation processes. Don't give up. Like sometimes things can turn out a little bit wonky, but you just got to keep trying at it and you will eventually get it. And a special thanks to Dr. Davis and Dr. Berg. Dr. Davis is the one who came up with this amazing, miraculous Reuteri yogurt. But I heard about Dr. Davis by way of Dr. Berg. Dr. Berg's channel has been just so helpful for me in my healing journey. And like I said, I heard about Dr. Davis through Dr. Berg. Dr. Davis, this yogurt has helped me in just monumental ways. I have been just smiling and feeling like a brand new woman. But anyhow, more about how this yogurt has changed my life in a whole other video. But if you guys are interested in making this yogurt, I hope that this video has been helpful. There is a full write-up on the recipe on sisterfrennn.com without all the mistakes. And I want to know about you guys. Have you guys tried Reuteri yogurt? What recipes are you making with it? How has it changed your life? Do you want to try this yogurt? Like, let's talk Reuteri. This strain of bacteria has literally just been life-changing for me. And Dr. Davis says that 96% of the population is missing this strain of bacteria in their gut. So that means that you probably don't have it. You probably are missing this strain in your gut. So if you do yourself any favors in 2025, make this yogurt. You will not regret it. Guaranteed. All right, friends. I'll see you next time.
The yogurt is very smooth, very creamy. So good. Good.